Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios have sent us on a roller coaster of emotions with Daredevil Born Again. First, you find out it's going to be that stupid yellow Daredevil that no one really likes, and it's not going to be attached to Netflix. And then they bring all the characters and actors and the stunt coordinators back to do the real version of Daredevil. And now you find out they're going to an old trope that got fast real quick. We get to go through TDS again. Hopefully this will be just as much fun as the first time we all had to go through the entire entertainment industry and comic books simultaneously, losing their minds about Donald Trump, like in unison, in mass, and just fucking being as annoying as completely possible. But apparently that's what's happening. And we've got the 411. We got the skinny here. Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin is about to launch another bid to become the MCU's biggest bad in Daredevil Born Again. Wilson Fisk is unleashing his most diabolical scheme yet. That proves more than ever before just how truly evil he is. He's becoming a politician. As teased in Echo's post-credit scenes, Kingpin is set to run for office in Born Again and will be embarking on a campaign to get himself elected mayor of New York. And I'm going to give you a little spoiler here. There's almost zero doubt in my mind he will become mayor of New York. I think it was Charles Soule. I'm pretty sure he's the one that did it, that after Secret Empire or whatever, Wilson Fisk runs for mayor, gets elected. I think he does some pretty shady stuff and kind of rigged the election, but he's been the mayor of New York for the most part ever since, until recently. I guess Luke Cage is the mayor. In fact, everybody's been kind of mayor of New York City in Marvel Comics. I think even Matt Murdock was the mayor at one time, wasn't he? But this isn't like a new thing happening within Marvel universes, especially in comic books. We've certainly seen Wilson Fisk as Mayor Fisk, Kingpin of New York. He basically creates his campaign around the idea that vigilantes are bad, vigilantes are evil, and really they are the root cause of everything that's befalling New York. Now, obviously, they're going to have to take this the extra mile. How do we know this? Because we've actually seen pictures. The latest set photos as filming continues in New York capture Matt Murdock himself, Charlie Cox, betraying his on-screen alter ego by lightheartedly donning a Fisk campaign cap during a shooting break. As the pictures make clear, Fisk will have his very own thinly veiled twist on Trump's infamous slogan in the series, with the cap reading, "Fisk can fix it." And of course, it's a very plain hat with very plain lettering, just like the Make America Great Again hat of MAGA fame, I guess. So that's where we got the MAGA name, right? Make America Great Again. And I just remember everybody in Hollywood losing their minds over Donald Trump because he was running for president. And then when he actually won the presidency, it seemed like they even lost their minds even more. And then every villain in comic books and really everywhere all of a sudden was a politician, and they all had slogans. And normally they would have red hats. After that point, any time that you had a racist in a comic book, they would always have a red hat. I saw it in some shows as well. And I guess they're going to go back to this well again. As if that didn't just die out the first time. It was like, oh my goodness. Can I take Donald Trump as MODOK again? Maybe they can recreate the January 6th insurrection thing that everyone claims was basically the worst day of the history of America, including Pearl Harbor as well as 9/11, because some people politely walked into like the Capitol building or whatever. Maybe they can recreate that, and we can really know without a shadow of a doubt that their version of Wilson Fisk, Mayor Fisk, is actually supposed to be Donald Trump. We don't get allegories. We don't get analogies. You can't really see that they're trying to be subversive here. You have to just come out and say this stuff, and it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's already tiresome, and it hasn't even come out, and I'm already tired of it because I've already went through this for like 8 years straight of people just losing their minds basically for no reason. Now, it's not because I'm like a huge Trump guy. I think Trump's perfectly fine. I think he probably made an ass of himself on social media. You know, being the president, you probably shouldn't do that. But otherwise, you know, he was all right to me. I especially like my all-time favorite tweet like that's ever been done was the Donald Trump Cinco de Mayo. Nobody makes better taco balls than Trump Towers. This is the fucking. I mean, he wasn't president yet, but man, that was the greatest troll tweet in the history of troll tweets. Like that was. This should be put in the fucking Louvre right next to the fucking Mona Lisa. That's what I think about that tweet. So I did enjoy people losing it on the regular, but it did get really old when just being outraged about it wasn't enough. You actually had to include your outrage in all the stories. And we know Tom King has written his seminal Donald Trump story, which I thought he said was going to be Rorschach, but it felt like it was more like Strange Adventures. Maybe it was both of them. As a geek fan, you know, of like comic books and superheroes and stuff like that, man, I do not want to revisit this, but this isn't the first time we've ever seen anyone try to take a live action version of Wilson Fisk and make him a representation of Donald Trump on the small screen. Although this is easily the most overt instance of Kingpin's character being used as an analog for Donald Trump, it's not actually the first time. Daredevil Season 3 showrunner Eric Olson slyly admitted to Polygon in 2018, Fisk is someone who would, quote, attack or encourage attacks on the press or try to undermine freedom of speech in their quest for power. I very much saw Wilson Fisk in that vein. He is very much operating on par with the techniques of Vladimir Putin or some other villains who may or may not be living in our country right now, obviously referring to Donald Trump because he was the most evil person in the world at the time. If you were an entertainer or if you're a cause head or something like that, and if you're just like a normal American that wanted to feed their family and didn't want to pay outrageous gas prices and housing prices, he was probably just like an all right guy that you wish would have stopped talking so much on social media. Like that's just the way I think most normal thinking people would have been operating at that time, because there have been a lot of really, really terrible U.S. presidents. To be honest, Trump is not even close to being the worst one in recent memory, let alone the worst one of all time. But hey, Hollywood does not like the guy, so therefore we will be inundated that Trump is bad and every bad person is therefore Trump, and everyone that supports Trump is therefore the bad people that support the bad guy in the movie and all that stuff. And of course, you know, when you think about Eric Olson, the showrunner of season 3 of Daredevil, what's notable about Daredevil season 3? It's the one season no one liked, that no one was really drawn to, and which basically had never actually happened because it wasn't a very good, compelling season of Daredevil, likely because the showrunner Eric Olson was so completely consumed by TDS at the time, he couldn't bring himself to actually work hard and create a cool Daredevil season, which had been done pretty well the first and second season. But hey, man, if you're going to do the Wilson Fisk as Trump analogy, I hope they recreate the fucking Trump taco bowl meme. That would be absolutely amazing. I want them to do the, we're going to build a wall and we're going to make Pennsylvania pay for it. Maybe that would be a good thing to do within Daredevil Born Again. Maybe you can have a smoking hot, like, foreign model wife. That'll let us know that it's supposed to be President Trump. He'll wear the hat at all times. Maybe we can have Kingpin call everyone in New Jersey and tell them, y'all are living in a shithole. That would be pretty funny because people got really mad when he did that one. What else could he do? There's lots of fun stuff. Maybe he can be doing a debate and they're like, if you're elected president, what will happen to Matt Murdock, Daredevil? And he'll be like, he will go to jail. It'll be a lot of fun. Maybe all that stuff could be in the show and we can truly know that Wilson Fisk is supposed to be Trump. And, if they go too far with it, maybe I can laugh with it instead of rolling my eyes and being so annoyed with it. I guess that's like the best case scenario with all this stuff. Now, we do know where the story is going to go. He is going to win. And if the comic storyline is anything to go by, Fisk is due to build his campaign around his militant anti-vigilante policy, blaming much of the city's problems on the rise of costume crime fighters in recent years. Naturally, this will make him more dangerous to Daredevil and the Defenders than ever. By the looks of things, Kingpin will only gain more credibility when the mass serial killer muse takes to the streets to cause carnage. If Daredevil can't get the upper hand, it looks like Kingpin could win this election bigly. Of course he's going to win the election because he's Mayor Kingpin. They've been doing this for fucking 6 years in comic books nonstop. He's always the freaking mayor or whatever. And, hey, have a serial killer out there. Let him know that people in masks need to be deported. Whatever President Trump would say, have Fisk say it. And perhaps this could be a fun time. I imagine, I don't think I've ever actually read it, but I probably have seen it. Vincent D'Onofrio, he seems like he's probably a far lefty. No one's going to have more fun making Kingpin become President Trump so he can show how evil President Trump would be if he was Kingpin than Vincent D'Onofrio in that one. And I imagine he'll put his all into it. And hopefully they don't take it too seriously and they go really, really far. Otherwise, this will be Daredevil season 3 all over again, to where everyone's going, maybe I'll just watch Daredevil season 1 again. Or maybe I'll just watch Daredevil season 2 again because this season sucks. And there certainly has been enough upheaval and turmoil with this Daredevil Born Again project that I don't think any of us should be holding out much hope at this point. But hey, who knows? Hopefully they go too far. They go way over the line and it's somehow fun. If you are like me and you are not looking forward to the TDS re-entering all over entertainment and media and pop culture and all that kind of stuff, there is a safe haven. It's called the Thinking Critical Patreon. If you would like the straight skinny, the 411, all the dope news and pop culture and comic books, stop by there. 8 hours of new content every single week. We don't have TDS. We don't really get into the politics and all that stuff. We try to have fun with it like I try to do in this video. And there's a link in the video description